So here's a video that was more so meant for myself. This is mostly advice to myself, but I figured it's good advice for other people too. That would be to play more single player games. Play more single player games. So this one wasn't exactly sprung upon me recently. It's something I thought about for a while, but it's one that very recently has just been more and more on my mind as I played some multiplayer games. Play more single player games. Your sanity will thank you for it. Whether it be a skill issue, or maybe it's just you get too worked up over things, or it's the people you're playing with and or against. Does yourself a lot of good to maybe just play some single player games every now and again. I've recently started replaying Stellar Blade. I'm replaying Neo 2. I was gonna do the next entry of Tomb Raider 2013. I was gonna play Rise of the Tomb Raider. And then I also was gonna take a crack at Far Cry 4. Because out of that whole series, I've played 3 and like a quarter of 6. And I hear that 4 is pretty well received. So I'll try that next. But it just had me really thinking, you know, now's probably the time to make a video like this. And now this can be, you know, interpreted a few ways. Like, you know, again, like I said, for sanity purposes, but sometimes it's just to like sit back and play something that has a story mode, you know? Like, cause I mean, sometimes, you know, I feel like the best way to think about single player games is they're like, sit back and smell the roses sorts of games. Well, I feel when you play ones that are just primarily multiplayer, it's just play the game, you know, get through it, get that dopamine rush or whatever. But when you play, say, just like a single player game, like Resident Evil Requiem I have here, these are ones where you kind of just enjoy that experience on your own, and really just, you know, the only contributing factor is you. You know, you're not worried about a teammate, you're not worried about some Smurf, you know, some Smurf dunking on ya. Just kind of take it, you know, if you're bad, you know, skill issue in that sense, and, you know, there's no one else to blame. You know, and I mean, you can do it with games that, like, you know, have a multiplayer too. Like, one that I like to reference is just almost any Souls game. Like, great story, you know, great experience you can have on your own, but then there's also that, like, there's co-op, there is also, you know, a PvP aspect to it, but you don't have to engage with it. So, you know, that's good too. It's more so just about, like, play by yourself, but having the options nice to also, you know, do it alongside somebody, have some adversity. It's all great stuff to have, of course, but I think the main premise I'm trying to get across is just like, you're looking to save yourself some sanity and disconnect rather, you know, let's use proper English here, disconnect from, you know, the aggression that sometimes ends up being multiplayer gaming. Play a single player game. Can be an easy one, can be a hard one. If you want to challenge yourself, you know, play it on a hard difficulty, find a difficult game, whatever. At least that way, you know, there's no outside factors, it's just you and the game. You know, I've also got God of War 3 here. That was another great one that I beat, I think, last summer. And I was looking into, I forget what it was called. It was that one that they announced, or like a shadow dropped, I think earlier this year or late last year. It was like the pixel art one. I forget if it was like a young Kratos or if it's just like about the Spartans. But I was thinking about that one. Yes, I did just move the hairbrush. Yeah. I mean, I know a lot of people have obviously already kind of had this sort of video uploaded before this topic. I just kind of wondered how many people have had the actual conversation, you know, like why, you know, and I'm sure they obviously have covered that, you know, in the few that I've watched they have, but I'm just kind of curious, maybe I can stir up some sort of extra conversation on the matter, like what your specific reasoning is, you know, if you have done it before, you know, was it like, yeah, competitive gaming was pissing me off? Was it just you're someone that prefers single player games? Is some other additional reason, you know, just wanted to know, so, you know, let me know.